What's up, everybody? Sonoma County, we're here in early June. If you remember last year at this same time, we had the Point Fire out in Dry Creek. We've talked a lot about fire preparedness, but we're going to talk about something a little bit different right now. Different kind of preparedness, prescribed burning. So we've been posting a lot online, and you've seen it in the papers, is that there's been quite a few prescribed burns that are ongoing in our area, in our region, and indeed statewide. First and foremost, I want to state that we are fully supportive of prescribed fire, of getting fire onto the ground under the right conditions, burning out the fuel load, especially when you have like a big rain year like this and you have a ton of grass and other vegetation out there. If you can get those fires to burn at a time when you have good weather, it's cool, there's relative humidity in the air, and you don't have big winds, the opposite of red flag conditions, it's a good thing for everybody. I also want to acknowledge that we are a community that has had a lot of fire trauma since 2017, and indeed throughout the state. So when you see that there's smoke in the air, the first thing that I would encourage you to do is to go onto the app Watch Duty. If you don't have it and you live in this region, if you live anywhere in the North Bay, North Coast, throughout California, you should download Watch Duty. I don't usually sponsor apps, but this is a nonprofit organization that does the best job, not just for me to say, but also the firefighters say as well. So we've been putting out these releases, but even if I go onto Watch Duty right now and I have the layers up, I can see in our region of Northern California, I can see an update on the Moorheart Ridge prescribed burn. I can click on it and I can take a look and see that that this fire was a 25-acre burn. It has information on how it was executed. I can click over on over at Jack London State Historic Park, the Maze Clearing prescribed burn. This was 8 days ago. This is no longer an active one. I can look and I can see that we had the Lake Sonoma prescribed burn on the 4th through the 6th. The big thing to do is to remind yourself that smoke in the air is not always a bad thing. It is a bad thing when we have high winds, low relative humidity, a lot of vegetation to burn, and really hot days. And that's what we call red flag warnings. A reminder to everybody that if you look at the Weather Service or with our updates coming out of our emergency management, the first tier of awareness and being prepared is what they call a fire weather watch. It's below a red flag warning, but it's definitely still a time where you have winds and humidity and heat like really projected to come on up. What the Weather Service and local jurisdictions call a red flag warning, as I've said before, is really high winds, high winds, high temperature, low relative humidity in both dead and live grasses and plants, and that creates a condition where we can have these things like the tub fire and other things like that. There's a new thing this year, which is a particularly dangerous event, a PDE. And in the past, they've called that kind of a purple flag. That's what they designated down in LA this January. And if you can just imagine anything worse than a red flag, that might even look like back for us when we had the Kincaid fire and we had 100-mile-an-hours, a historic wind event up on the peaks. And at that point, really the only thing you can do is evacuate areas so that you don't have to evacuate people during fires, and prepare for structure defense so that you don't have to defend people. In the Kincaid fire, we did that. We evacuated 40% of the population. Those fires did enter Healdsburg and especially Windsor. They were going to burn absolutely thousands of homes like in 2017, and they didn't because we evacuated people. We had the whole regiment of fire, not only locally, but regionally, mutual aid around the state, and we were able to do the right thing. So just full circle, this is a time to be prepared, not afraid. As I said in another post yesterday from the great book Dune, is fear is the mind killer. So it's a great reminder to always have your go bag, to have a conversation with your family about where you're going to go if you're evacuated, to be able to know if certain routes are blocked off, what you're going to take care of, And also clean up your gutters and do maintenance around your property unless it's going to cause a spark. Don't go out there with a mower during a red flag condition and be the one who starts a fire in your neighborhood. So prescribed fires going on everywhere. Realize that those are good things, and we have great fire communities and landowners working with CAL FIRE in our local jurisdictions to get it done. So that's all you can do, is do the best you can, and then you live enjoying in peace with your family, but you're always ready to roll. Thank you.